What are hidden providers and what is surprise billing? You may have heard of surprise billing. I doubt if you've heard of hidden providers. We're going to talk about that today. Hey, this is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. Okay, let's talk about this, and I'm going to get into some details here, and try and follow along here. I'm going to keep it simple, at least try to at least. Hidden providers are a term that's actually used mostly in the industry. I doubt if most folks out there who have insurance, most non-insurance people, have heard the term hidden providers. And I've found out over the years there's a lot of agents that don't know what hidden providers are. Hidden providers are, it's a term used to describe the folks that are out of your network, doctors, hospitals, labs, people like that are out of your network, and you don't find out about them until you get a bill, a surprise bill. Wait a minute, who is this person and why are they billing me? And why didn't my insurance company pay anything, or why didn't they pay their full bill? So that's where you find out about it. The hidden providers are they most often come up during a hospital stay. If it's an emergency admission, you're almost bound to have some kind of hidden providers if you have a managed care plan. Now, keep in mind, managed care plans usually are associated with three letters, either HMO or PPO. A lot of the stories about surprise billing will happen with folks who have health insurance under 65 or group insurance or something like that, but it can also come up in the Medicare side as well. Again, this applies to plans that are managed care, brought to you by the letters HMO or the letters PPO. So, what happens? Again, most of the time it's going to come up with an emergency admission to the hospital. If you go in through the emergency room, good chances are the hospital and most of the emergency room staff are going to be in your network. However, it's entirely possible that at least one of the doctors and maybe some of the other personnel, if you have x-rays or scans or something like that, you may also encounter other people who are working there in the hospital, but they're not on the staff, and they are independent contractors, and they are not in anybody's network. If you are unfortunate enough to go into surgery, like my wife had to a year ago, and then you find out a few weeks afterwards when you start getting the bills in, whoa, hey, there's this guy called the assistant surgeon. I don't know who it is. I don't even recall seeing him. And why is he sending me a bill for $4,400, which is $200 more than the guy who actually did the surgery? Well, this guy was a hidden provider, all right, and there's a story attached with that one. I won't get into it, but basically it worked out surprisingly well. Most of the times they don't. These hidden providers, folks who are not in any networks, they're charging you what they feel like their services are worth, and they will not accept what the insurance company offers as payment in full. They're going to balance bill you. They're going to say, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to take the $200 that your carrier paid me. I want my $4,400, so stroke me out a check for $4,200. I'll be happy. Rachel's assistant surgeon decided to be a nice guy since it was an emergency situation, and he accepted the $200, and I was thankful for that one. We also had some other people with lower charges, but they also were out of network, and but anyway, most of the time, as I said, you're going to come up with that when you're admitted to the hospital through an emergency room, because some of the people I've already mentioned, And in addition to an assistant surgeon, you probably will, hopefully, will have an anesthesiologist so that you don't feel the pain when they start cutting on you. And anesthesiologists a lot of times are hidden providers. They're out of network, and you may run into a surprise bill there. There's one other a pathologist. If you end up with some kind of surgery and they're doing a biopsy, a pathologist often is another hidden provider, out of network, and so forth. Like I said, it's mostly going to come up with emergency admissions, but surprisingly, studies have shown that about 20%, about 1 out of 5 elective surgeries, this is where you say, all right, I'm going to have this done eventually. Let's might as well go ahead and do it now. And so you have the opportunity to make sure that everybody is in network. And lo and behold, there's always somebody, usually an anesthesiologist or an assistant surgeon. There's almost always somebody that pops up after the fact, and you get a surprise bill, and it's like, gee, now what do I do? The insurance company will not negotiate for you. They can't, because they don't have a contract with these people. There's a reason why they don't join any networks, and it's because they want to charge more than what the insurance companies are willing to pay. So you can ask the insurance company all you want, and they're going to say, we can't do any more than you can. You'll need to handle this. So it's a situation where it can end up with several hundred or several $1,000s. In Rachel's case, we had, as I mentioned, we had 2 or 3 hidden providers, including the assistant surgeon, and had these folks not been willing to work with us on that, I would have had almost $5,000 out of pocket over and above the other stuff that we had to pay for her deductible and her co-insurance. So yeah, this is a pretty serious thing. Okay, how can you avoid hidden providers and surprise billing? Well, one way is, of course, on elective surgery, because remember I said about 1 out of 5 elective surgeries, you're still going to encounter those hidden providers. You really need to do your due diligence. Find out if there's going to be a second, an assistant surgeon in the mix. If so, find out who it is. Make sure that they're in network or not. Also, anesthesiology. Those are going to be the 2 big ones. And as long as you've got those 2 covered, you're at least going to minimize your out-of-pocket risk for these hidden providers. But I have an easier way, and that is, why not just avoid managed care plans altogether? Just don't pick a Medicare plan that has the letters HMO or PPO in it. Let's take a different trip on Sesame Street and go to Original Medicare and a supplement plan, because Original Medicare does not have any networks. If Original Medicare doesn't have a network, neither does your supplement plan. So you're not going to have all these situations come up where there are no hidden providers, because everybody takes Medicare. All the hospitals take Medicare. I mean, you're really just not going to get into a situation like that, especially on emergency surgery, emergency admissions, and you won't come up with it. You won't have to do your due diligence really on elective procedures either, because again, everybody takes Medicare, so there's no in-network, out-of-network providers. It's a very clean system, and I have over 500 clients all over Georgia. Every one of them have Original Medicare and a supplement plan. They like it that way, and I do too. My life is much easier because we don't have these discussions about hidden providers and balance billing and surprise bills and all that kind of stuff. And plus, I'm on Medicare myself. And I have original Medicare. I don't have an Advantage plan. I will never have an Advantage plan. I'll never have any clients with Advantage plans. So yeah, I'm kind of biased, you might say. But hey, it works for me. It works for my clients. And my wife is about to retire, and she's going off her group plan. She has a group retiree plan, which is junk, and I finally convinced her of that. And so she's going to join me in Original Medicare, and she's going to become one of my newest clients with a Medicare supplement plan. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. This is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. You take care and have a great day.